going on, YouTube? I figured it out, and we're going to kill our AI. So I had some trouble with this. I don't know why I had so much trouble with this, but like I just couldn't figure it out. It was not working right. So I made it work right. I made it. And this is where our custom collisions, come into place. Now, I don't think I had this last time I talked about them, but AI enemy, or AI or enemy, one of the two, just do something that clearly states this is an AI and it's an enemy, or it's an enemy, just something that clearly states this is not us, but it is another controlled AI thing. So make that. In object channels, not trace channels, you don't need to make a preset for it because I didn't. It's really just going to be used for objects. Anyways, let's go over to our actual mutant AI and open up the capsule component. In that, you'll want to change to AI enemy. Block all except for visibility. Ignore visibility, overlap swords, and that's it. Collision enabled, query and physics. On our mesh, you'll want the exact same thing, except ignore pawns and vehicles. Vehicles don't really matter, but ignore pawns. Health collision. Ignore everything except swords and probably arrows, since we'll do that later on. And then sphere, which is our little interaction. Also, the health collision can just be AI enemy as well. The sphere, world dynamic, ignore all, or overlap all, ignore from arrow to AI. So that's it. Well, hold up. Is our sphere? Yeah, our spheres for that. So if you have, like, if you don't want it to do vehicles, or if there's a certain one that you don't want it to attack, because that's our attack sphere. So if there's one that you don't want it to attack, obviously just ignore that one. So that's that. You'll want to go to your event graph and pull off. Pull off from your tick another pin, and I just cast to our bro dude, our RPG bro. Sorry, that's the wrong tutorial series. Our cast to our RPG bro, and then I collapsed it into a node graph like that. Collapse nodes. So yep. Anyways, of course, make your RPG bro player pawn, and then off of your dude. Oh, right. There's some stuff I forget to tell you guys. It'll make sense, but just bear with me on this for right now. It'll make sense once I go back over the RPG guy. So off of him, make sure your hit area is active, which we don't have yet, but we'll set that up. And if it's true, branch it again and see if we're attacking, which we already have that set up. And also, we're gonna want to get our weapon 1. We already also have that set up, and get our class defaults for that. Drag that off to the subtraction of the health. So pretty much like we've always done, subtract the health from our damage, and the result will be our health. Yeah, so you do the whole health thing. Sorry, I had to take a pause there. And I don't know if there was any like continuity errors of the mouse or the screen, but there probably was. So in case you saw that little glitch and break of the film, that's because I had to pause. But the reason there's a delay is you may be like, well, there's no event overlaps or event hits for the health collision. This is the weirdest thing. Like, I don't think I even use the health collision, but stinking, like, it won't work. So you have to delay it, that 0.5 delay, since the animation of him swinging the sword is like a second, like perfectly a second, I think. Halfway through, kind of makes sense. Halfway through, that sword is pretty much gonna be halfway through the character because it's gonna be pretty center. The sword's gonna be center, depending on the animation. But the sword will pretty much be right in front of you, and that will obviously, if everything's all measured out right, blah blah blah, you'll have hit the character, or it looks like you'll hit your enemy. So that's what that delay is there for, because otherwise I would be using like on event overlap or on event hit for either on the sword I would have that, or on this I would have that, but none of them are working. I've tried so much stuff, and this is the only thing that I've found so far to work. Now, of course, if you have different animations, you would change up this delay, and if you have randomizing animations, I don't want to take the time to sit here and think about how you would do that, but I'm pretty sure I could figure it out. Anyways, on our actual RPG Bro, you'll want to make a box in front of you called Hit Area. I say in front of you because it's where you are going to hit. Most likely, I mean, I feel like the sword swings pretty wide, so, he kind of takes his arm up here and swings it around there. So it's kind of hitting around this section. Now, of course, you know, it's he's not hitting down here, hitting up here, but I mean, it's an RPG, so there's no look. We're not our guy isn't looking. That's what our camera's for. It's not an FPS or TPS where our camera is, that's where our guy's looking. So if there's like a little creature down here that you want to hit and you don't have an animation for that, and you just have the normal sword swinging animation, which a lot of RPGs do, you want that area to be included in the hit active or hit area. And then of course you'll want to on your I have it somewhere here. Okay, there it is. I'll comment this. Hit area activation. Yeah, didn't even need to look. So this pretty much says, if on component overlap, hit area and on begin overlap, hit area is active, end overlap, hit area is not active. Now you're like, well, if you just, how do you know what's overlapping with it? Well, that's why you go to the collision settings and clearly identify what should or should not be overlapping. Now, the only thing that we're swinging at right now is our AI enemy. Now, if you had little like chickens or random mobs or friendly enemies, you would also want those in there, because a good RPG allows you to kill anything and everything, except for Skyrim, because it knows what characters are important. There's nothing left. Anyways, so yeah, that's all you're gonna need for that, though. And then obviously just that little variable. That's the only thing that we need on this side of our character. But just set that up, physics and all. Yeah, you could just do world dynamic, because not everything needs to have a collision type, but a lot of like AAA games have pretty much an object type for everything. Now you can't really do that because you can have only 18, so that's why you wouldn't want to be very super like specific. You would want to be very general, like friendly AIs. You wouldn't want to split it up. Okay, here's like Empire guys, and then here's like the village AIs. You wouldn't want to do that in all of your object channels. You would just want to have, okay, here's friendly AIs. Here's, enemy AIs. You would just want to generalize if you had a lot of things that you wanted object channels for, which in an RPG you do. So we're gonna have that. Pretty much in any game you have that, but an RPG has like way too many. So that's all those are the only two things you need. So that's where that event hit area is active. That's why we have that, because that comes into play. So pretty much explaining this little section here real quick, as quickly as I can. The way that this actually works is it's checking. It won't let us attack unless it won't let us give him damage, even if we are attacking. It won't let us give him damage unless he is in that hit area, which, he would be activating that hit area. This guy would be activating the hit area since he's an enemy AI. So then it's like, okay, you're activating, but are you hitting? So that's why we grab, which we already have since we just use that for the attack. It's like, okay, so are we attacking? Okay, we are, so let's go on with the killing. Now, this is a different story. Um, I have here where we have the damage and all of that. Um, you can change that, of course, on this side of the thing. If, say, the enemy had armor or something, you would want to say, okay, run it through all the variables of armor and subtraction of the health because of the armor, all of that complex stuff. But since we're not doing that, this is a one-hit kill. Let me just demo this. This is a one-hit kill. Now, see, it works kind of well, but we don't have death animations. We don't have any of that. We'll add those in. Don't worry. But what was I talking about? We need to go to our sword to talk about stuff on the end of the sword, because we have not yet done that. Now, I am using the death sword, but we will need both the death sword open and the base sword. Now, the death sword, of course, has its own damage. So let's just say 50 for the death sword, since that's the one we're using. Now it will take 2 hits for him, since our enemy uses 100% or 100 health. Now this by default is 100. So if we were equipped with the base sword, sure, we would be dealing 100 damage. But since we're using the class thing here, and it's saying class defaults is 100, but we're setting, since we're using the base sword, and this isn't even called, there's no ticking, there's no setting of the damage here. The second we play, since we're using the death sword, mind you, the second we play, it'll set that damage, and which will transfer over to this, and that will be what we're using. So, that's why we have the class stuff. So let's just try it out. 1 hit, 2 hit. So that's how that works. Now, of course, it's the death sword, so it's 999. Like, this is the one-hit kill sword. We want to be able to kill everything, but that just demonstrates, that it does take after whatever sword we're using. Now, of course, if we had a different sword, if weapon 1 was, say, the finger sword, which I don't know why it's not showing up. Didn't we create a child? Parent class is base sword. Yeah, well, we didn't create this? Like, excuse me. Anyways, it would be the same thing. You would set event begin, set damage to, I don't know. I mean, it's a figure sword, so say 25 or 15. Fine, 15 works just fine. So yeah, that's just same thing, and you would equip that. But my dilemma is oh, there, now it's showing up. Maybe I just had to launch the actual blueprint. So that works. And then if you guys want death animations, we can do that in the next episode. But that'll be all for this episode. I know it kind of took a little long, but that's because I just had to explain everything. I like to explain it because I remember when I first got into Unreal, I didn't know a whole lot about how stuff worked. So when people were like, "Oh," and then just drag it off, and then because I was learning about guns, and it's like just drag it off and cast to weapon V2. That was one of the tutorials on how to shoot a weapon. I'm like, I don't have a weapon V2. I'm like, well, let me see if I got weapon. Well, of course, this is here because item weapon, that's a custom-made blueprint. But I didn't understand any of that, so for those of you who are still new, especially since this tutorial is still a child, this is ninth episode. This is the ninth episode, I believe. Haven't gotten very far in it, so if you guys haven't watched any of my other tutorials and you're here for just RPG and this is your first Unreal anything, I just kind of like to explain that. So, hope you guys liked. If you did, like, rate, comment, subscribe, throw suggestions and stuff into the comment section below. Or in the other videos, I always take suggestions if I know that I can fulfill them. If I can't, I will try again unless I know it's completely impossible for me. Anyways, I'll still reply to your comments and stuff if they deserve replying, which most of them do because you guys are awesome. You guys keep up with my channel so much. And FPS series, I am drawing so many blanks. Like, I am running out of everything to do. Like, I can't think of what to do. And so if you guys are interested in that, please go check that out. Look at what I have done, what I haven't done. And if you guys see I haven't done multiplayer, that's because I'm working on that, but I've taking a break. So don't say do multiplayer because that doesn't help me get it done any faster. But yeah, check all that out. Thanks for the support, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.